So, good evening. My name is Tasha Smutney. I am a double gold consultant and a two-time IATAN card holder. And I put this training together because I think it's important to think about all the things that we could be doing for our clients and not just getting that basic trip booked, right? A lot of times, I think not just new agents, but especially new agents, they think, all right, I just have to get what they need. And we don't always think about what else could we be doing to provide more value and also, unlocking additional income streams for our travel business through upselling when we book these trips for our clients, right? We don't need to just book the flight, the hotel, and that's it, right? So let's talk about why it matters. So first of all, you can maximize that revenue, right? Boost your earnings by offering your clients enhanced experiences, right? That's also going to increase your client satisfaction. It's helping the clients make their trips more memorable and more seamless, right? Adding in things that, yeah, it's going to cost extra if we add the transfers from the airport to the hotel or resort or to the cruise ship. But now they don't have to worry, can I get a taxi or an Uber? It's already planned for them. They don't have to worry about it, right? Building loyalty with your clients. When we provide these tailored options and we customize everything for them, it builds trust and it also is going to foster repeat business, right? Look at all this stuff that my travel agent did for me, how they helped me make sure that I had the best experience ever. It also gives us a competitive edge over other travel agents who are just doing the bare minimum, right? Yes, we can do the bare minimum and get them on the trip that they want. Or we can think about what else we can do to make this a better experience and then stand out those premium and unique options, right? So for all these reasons, we need to be looking at what can we do to offer more to our clients, right? Because remember, a lot of using a travel agent is clients buying in to the value of the travel agent. We're not just going on to booking.com and finding them the cheapest hotel and package. We're actually listening to our clients and what their goals are for their trip. And some of those goals can only be met by upselling, right? It's not going to happen in just a basic package. So, what does that mean? Recommending higher end services or additional products to meet our clients' need. Some examples could include, now, we're not going to get extra money for putting them on a higher class of flights, but they're going to appreciate it. But upgrading to suites or private transfers instead of those standard shared transfers that might stop at multiple resorts before they get to their own. Private tours instead of something that they're just going to be with everybody in this big giant thing, we could offer these private tours that are going to be customizable to the clients. I had a client who I actually know her very well. I went to college with her. We were both music education majors. She's actually the first person I ever met when I went the day that we had orientation and we chose our classes together and all those things. And her husband's family is from Ireland and they're from Northern Ireland. And when they went to that part of their trip, it was really important to them to be able to go to the actual cities and places in Northern Ireland that their families were from. So, yeah, they wanted to see all the big sites, but they wanted that. They actually got, now it was one, two, three, six. It was six people because it was two couples. They each had, no, seven. There was one family had two children, seven people total. And they got a private driver for 2 days in Northern Ireland. Not only did they get exactly the experience they wanted, they could tell the driver where they wanted to go. It was an over $3,000 excursion to get this private driver, which meant it was an over $300 commission for me. And I really didn't have to do anything except go on Viator and get it. Right. Right. I didn't have to arrange that to make sure they got that customized thing. And private tours and things like that are able to offer those types of experiences. Okay. Now, we always should be offering travel insurance, always, but it's really, really important. Offering travel insurance for peace of mind. Not only is travel insurance going to help protect your client, it's going to do two other things for you. Number one, it's going to give you a higher commission because the travel insurance is commissionable. And depending on the travel insurance, it sometimes protects some of your commission, even if they cancel. Right? Sometimes you still get $100 or $200 of that commission, even if your clients cancel with travel insurance. Okay. Adding excursions, dining experiences, other VIP services. This is all examples of what we can do to add on. So think of upselling as adding on things for your clients, right? What can we do to make it better? So here are some key opportunities that you can upsell. So when we talk about upgrades, as I said, right, the flight typically is not going to give you any more commission, but it is going to give your client a better experience, as well as we talked about at the beginning, that better experience builds better client retention, loyalty, trust, referrals, all those things, right? It could be as simple as upgrading their flight from something that doesn't include their checked bags to something that does, because the upgrade costs less than it's going to cost for a family of four to each check a bag. And it's included if we upgrade. Doesn't have to be an upgrade to business or first class, right? It could be an upgrade that in the long run saves them money because of those baggage fees. There's only one airline I know of right now that is free bags, and that's Southwest. And unfortunately, there's been rumors that they might take that perk away. And I really hope they don't. All right. Room upgrades, right? Maybe they do want that club level service that gives them exclusive areas of the resorts that's only accessible to them, or that gives them a lounge that has snacks all day long when you're doing club level at Disney, right? All those things, because now they're not paying for breakfast or a mid-afternoon snack if they're back at the resort. It could be as simple as, if we're at a all-inclusive resort, a resort view to an ocean view, a standard view room that could be a parking lot in a regular hotel to a resort view room that now shows you, or pool view, something that's a little nicer, or a suite. Maybe that family, instead of getting two next door adjoining hotel rooms, maybe we recommend a suite that is going to enhance their experience, so that now they don't have to worry that the kids are in the room next door. They're all in one space, but there's a separate sleeping area, whatever the case may be. Other add-ons. So making those, as I said, those airport transfers private instead of the shared experience where they're stopping multiple places, or city tours. I love, love, love adding something like hop on, hop off buses when somebody goes to a city in Europe or a major city in the United States, where they can get, 24 to 48-hour pass on that hop on, hop off bus. And it stops at lots of major tourist attractions within those locations. Excursions via Viator or our other platforms where we can get them. All right. There's all different places we can get excursions and add-on activities. Specialty dining. Many of our cruise lines have specialty dining packages that people get, different amounts of time that they could go to the specialty dining that's an upcharge, spa packages, themed events they can go to. Really, like these types of lists are endless. And as we said, that travel insurance is a key time to talk about, how we can protect their investment. When a client thinks of it in terms of protecting their investment for unforeseen issues, not for I'm going to cancel. Because many people are like, well, I'm not going to cancel. I don't need it. It is our job to help educate, right? So this is how we can introduce those upgrades. So how do we bring this up? How do we talk about extra inclusions in a trip? First of all, during that initial consult, we want to listen to our clients' needs so that we understand their preferences and travel goals for the trip, right? It doesn't matter what I would want on that trip. It matters what they want. Those things that they're telling you they want are all opportunities for things that we can upgrade or upsell, right? Highlight value for them. Show them the benefits of upgrading. Hey, I know you're saying that you'll just all squeeze into one cruise cabin and you're a family of 5. You're not going to be comfortable in that one cabin that has the 2 twin beds that convert to a king for the adults to sleep in the same bed, and the bunk beds, and then another bed that pulls out, a trundle bed that's on the floor. That's what a lot of those cabins for 5 on a cruise ship are. It's not comfortable necessarily. I had a family once and they really just needed a low budget. They couldn't do it, but we're talking teenage into young 20s adult children, 3 of them, and then 2 adults. I think the youngest child was like 14 and they were all boys and they were tall boys. And they had an interior room with 5 people. And they said, we had a great cruise, but we probably should have listened to you when you said we should spend a little extra and get a bigger room or get 2 interior rooms or something like that. All right. So comfort, extra space, extra storage for unpacking your luggage, the time savings they can get from having things already arranged, but also those private transfers instead of shared, the exclusivity of the things you're able to get them. So highlight the value in, look at these great upgrades I was able to find you and what they're going to do for your trip. Use visuals to show them, right? When you're presenting that quote and presenting these things that you want to add on, share appealing photos, videos of upgraded options, right? Timing does matter. We want to present these options early in the booking process so that we're putting the whole package together to begin with, right? You don't want to wait till the week before their trip and then say, oh, do you want to spend some extra money on this? When now they're going, oh, that sounds awesome. I wish you had told me about it a year ago so I could budget it and pay for it over time. Now I don't have the money to just pay for it, right? Give them all their options up front. That could also mean now they know everything they want to book, and all those add-ons potentially could be booked separate. Like we put our deposit down, we make payments on the main trip. All right. Our trip is in, let's say somebody now is booking their trip for Christmas of next year. Great. We're going to do this now in November. In April, we're going to make a big payment. In June, we're going to book some of our excursions and activities because we can save up and pay a little over time. And then when our final payment comes, that's all we have left to worry about. It helps people budget their money because even though we can talk about it and plan it at the beginning, we don't have to book it at the beginning, all those excursions. Now, I will tell you on Viator, what's really great is a lot of them have book now, pay later options where they don't pay until a week before or so. And that's really a great option too, that we can lock in the pricing and lock in, they've got a spot in that activity, but they don't have to pay right away. Okay. And it's also going to tell them, hey, my travel agents got their stuff together, right? They thought of everything for me. They even thought about how I can plan when to pay for it so that I can make all of these things happen, right? So we do talk a lot about Viator, and I will pull it up in a moment, but Viator, if you haven't used it before, a platform for offering tours, activities, experiences all over the world. They also offer, you can get transfers and things like that as well. What's really great is we can share personalized affiliate links with clients so they can book it themselves. Earn commission on every booked activity. Different things could be snorkeling trips, city walking tours, theme park. I don't know about fast passes, but theme park passes. All right. So if we look at Viator, and I love Viator. When we come in here, because I do want to make sure everybody knows how to use those links, we can also now make curated lists for activities or locations. So all I do once I'm logged in, I click start booking. So I was actually just looking for, and I was on the phone with my partner. We're looking for activities to do on our cruise on February 20th when we're in St. Thomas, but I could do something like this. Let's say that my client is going to, I don't
Tasha,
know.
when are you going to St. Thomas?
We're going on a cruise and it's one of our stops. So we'll be there February 20th is the day we port there.
Okay, because I went to an ad where they were doing it where St. Thomas, where they were going to St. Thomas, and that is now on my bucket list to go to St. Thomas just because of the excursions and all the fun
Yeah, I'm
activities.
going to pull it up because what I did, I want to show you this. This is something that, and I'll actually take the filter out for now. So when I first come in, I just put in the day that I want to go, and it gives me every single tour. Now, obviously, we're not going to do a night kayak tour because it's a cruise ship. We're going to be back on the ship and probably sailing away by the time they do something like this, right? They introduced to us at convention this year, because I'm going to tell you right now, I want to go in the turtle snorkels. I love turtles. But when we scroll down, they now have what they call worry-free shore excursions. So if you have a client who is taking a cruise, typically we say only book an excursion through the cruise line. However, now that I've heard the people from Viator talk to us about this option, I would absolutely use them. Absolutely. They, when they talk about worry-free shore excursions, we can look up Viator's policies. All right. Particular port. All right. And if you're not returned by the applicable supplier to the ship time to board, Viator will arrange the necessary transport to the next port of call. Now, it's not like when you book with the cruise ship and the cruise ship will necessarily wait, which they will do to an extent if the cruise ship tour is delayed. Now, there sometimes comes a point that they have to leave no matter what, even if that cruise ship tour is delayed. And then the cruise ship is responsible for getting you to the next port. All right. But essentially, through no fault of your own, you return to the ship's time to board, you miss it, right? If it's your own fault, you obviously void the policy. But so it says, you must supply Viator with the correct arrival and departure time information and ensure there's enough time, minimum of 2 hours between the experience end time and the ship's departure time. All right. So it does have something in place to protect the client. So, and the way they spoke about it at convention, I felt very confident in using these. Enough that I'm thinking of booking one myself for my own cruise. And we never book anything unless we book with the cruise line. But you can book these in here. So either I could, and this is what I did when we were on the phone, I texted to my partner this entire link, all the worry-free shore excursions. Just copy the link. I click share with client, copy link. Or I could go, oh, I think this one would be great. There was one specifically where to go. Right? I think this would be great for us to go and take your parents. Mom loves to shop. We can see, a tour of the island, see the historical places, get a free daiquiri included at one spot. They bring you up to the top so you can see views of the other islands around as well. All right. These have great explanations of what's in here. So sometimes shopping downtown, a sightseeing tour that covers the highlights. Okay. Lookout points, views, including of St. Croix, you can see. Crash course in St. Thomas history and culture from your guide. Right? It tells you what's included, what's not included. It's only $40 per person. I'm going to tell you this same one on a cruise line would probably be $60 or $70 per person. And likely the exact same tour. But it says the meeting point is the cruise ship terminal. All right. That's where you go. So you can do that for cruise ships. All right. These are pictures that travelers have actually taken on this tour. How beautiful that is. All right. There's reviews. They are all 5-star except this one. So this sounds like this person had the wrong information about their tour, and that's why they did not connect with it. But for the most part, they're all amazing, amazing reviews, right? So that is an option for cruise ships. You could do whatever port they're going to, worry-free shore excursions. Just make sure that you read the information. Now you can also I may have been looking at lots of options lately. Um, you know, I like to put things together for cities. So let's say somebody's going to New York City. I'm going to click on this because I see that it's one that I have a curated list. New York City attractions. It's in that list already. I can make a whole list and I can share them with my client as well. So they can choose which things they want to do. But what's really nice here, free cancellation up to 24 hours before the experience, reserve now, pay later. So let's say, and we'll see how far out, like we can't necessarily book. This looks like it's only letting me book out through January, which is interesting. And that is how some of them work, but we can get the general idea. So if it were, anyone age 13 and up would be an adult price, child is under 12. So maybe they've got 6 people, apply. It tells me the times available. Now, it's 6 people at $797, right? Reserve now, pay later. We don't have to pay anything until January 6th. And this trip is on January 8th. They don't have to pay till 2 days before the experience. So these things are great for giving the clients a little bit of time if you can find things. Now, that one was not that much in advance. But when you come in, if I click New York City, I can choose the types of things I want to do. It is still doing worry-free shore excursions, so I'm going to get out of there. You do have to check because it'll remember your settings. So if I do bus tours, Let's see if what I'm looking for pops up. Sometimes I have to do city tours, bus tours, city tours. All right, that's what I'm looking for. These big bus tours. Ooh, this has a sale right now. 50% off kids through December 23rd. Or the night tour. Big Bus, that company is good and they're in a lot of cities. I tend to look though all the different ones and I'll read the reviews and all that. But hop on, hop off tour. All right, so let's look, see what it tells us. Audio, commentary, choose from several tour durations to best suit your schedule, freedom to explore, unlimited hop off, hop on during the ticket validity, optional bike rental. All right, so let's see. When we go to book, so this one, that one just for some reason wasn't letting you book far in advance. But let's say that they're going to go, I don't know, maybe they're going to be there in July. And they're a family of four. It's going to give me options. A 2-day downtown and uptown loops. That's going to be including the most. They could do a 1-day downtown or a 1-day up downtown and uptown. So this gives them 2 whole days that they could use this and go to lots of places. Again, a reserve now and pay later. They don't have to pay until June 28th, 3 days before it's due. So these are great, great add-ons. And when I do itineraries and send them to my clients, I will put the links right in. I'll put the words, like I would copy and paste this, and then I would highlight it and make it a link in whatever, in the Google document or whatever it is. So they have that. So they know what's being offered. Okay. So Viator is a great, great, great option. I've also used it a lot for Europe. And let me show you an itinerary I did. These clients specifically did not want their day-to-day always planned ahead of time. They wanted me to come up with an itinerary with possible activities for each day. But they said, we don't necessarily want to plan everything ahead of time. And while they were traveling, I was getting emails that they booked it. Like they were booking things as they were there. So when I sent them their final confirmations the week before of their trip, right? There was at that time, we had a 10% discount. Viator still gives us full commission on what the normal price would have been. But here's their London activities, all the things they could have chosen, right? I just link it right in there. Liverpool, Edinburgh. And when I originally did their itinerary, I did come up with, here's all those things with the prices, because these were the things that I listened to what they might want to do. They were really interested in potentially a day trip to Paris. I gave them 2 options. They said, we have to go to Buckingham Palace. You know, we have to do a Beatles tour. They were really, really said they love haunted things and they would love a ghost tour. So I was able to give them a lot of value and choices and things to do just by using one of the vendors that is super easy to use, right? So Viator is a great, great option. I use it a ton for adding on experiences for my clients. Now, there are other suppliers we can also use. Project Expedition, RoomRes has activities. Sometimes you can find activities on Expedia Tap, all those things. Now, selling travel insurance, because I do know that sometimes newer agents struggle to communicate the value of travel insurance, right? So why do we offer it? First of all, it protects the client's investments and gives them peace of mind. It doesn't include just trip cancellation, it includes delays and costs incurred while they're on a delay, lost baggage, medical emergencies, especially out of the country, or medical evacuation back to the United States. The cost of that helicopter to be evacuated off of the cruise ship. God forbid that ever has to happen for anybody, but those things happen. So when we present it, use real life examples of how insurance has helped clients you've had, or stories that we've told you about clients we've had if you haven't ever had somebody. Emphasize the potential savings versus the unexpected costs. Hey, your $10,000 trip, it's only going to cost you $500 to insure everything. And this is going to give you, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth of medical coverage outside of the country if something goes wrong. It's going to pay for a hotel if you get delayed or canceled and the airline doesn't, because they don't have to provide it, right? Helping them know how little the cost is and what it could potentially save them in the long run. Okay. Some other best practices when we're upselling, right? First of all, be genuine. Don't just suggest things to make extra money, right? Number one, people are going to see right through that. They're going to be like, you just want more money from me. I'm going to Disney and I told you we're not even going to be in the room except to crash and sleep at night because we'll be exhausted. We don't need the deluxe hotel. We don't want the deluxe hotel. We just want to be on Disney property in the least expensive hotel available. Don't suggest an upgrade if they really don't need or want it. But if you hear them saying things and say, oh, you know what? Like this actually would really match what you're looking for better, right? Suggest things that actually align with them and are going to improve their trip because of who they are. Be transparent. Clearly communicate what the costs are going to be and what the benefits of those upgrades are. Okay? Don't hide anything, no secret fees, nothing. Bundle those options together. So a lot of what we do is we use all our different suppliers to make a package that isn't already an existing package. So make a package for them that combines those upgrades and add-ons. Like, hey, I found exactly what you were looking for. And because I came in under budget, I was already able to add in that excursion you said you wanted. You told me you're not going to Costa Rica without going to the hot springs. I've already included that in your package. People love a package because a package in people's mind is a deal. When I get a package or a bundle, it's a promotion of some kind and a deal, right? We can have it already bundled together with all the things that they're going to want because I'm coming in budget. I can already include it when I go to present that quote. As opposed to, well, here's what we have. I could look into activities later. Okay. Following up, send reminders about their add-ons before finalizing the itineraries, right? And also when they're about to travel. Hey, here's that booking number. Here's the ticket provided or the voucher for that activity. Here's the phone number you call in case you can't find it. Here's all the info you could need so that they don't miss those activities that you were able to book for them. Just like we make sure they know things like airline confirmation numbers, we want to make sure they know how to access those things that we've added on and they've purchased, right? Because that would be really disappointing if they didn't get to do any of it. So I'm going to show you some ways that I've done this with actual trips, though. But final thought, upselling is a win-win. It's a win for the client because they enjoy enhanced travel experiences. You grow your income and build a stronger business, right? Let's all start making more money by adding more value to what we're doing. we can make more money by doing more for our clients. And not just on that trip, by creating these lifelong clients who want to use you, right? So I am going to pull up, I do use a CRM, I use Travefy, but let me pull up right here. So this client, and I'll show you the client view, right? Here's their itinerary. They're leaving on Saturday for this trip. Now, this price is no longer accurate because this didn't include the costs of the excursions they actually chose to book. But once they had those, I included it in here. Okay. Now, because they're traveling this week, I've already put in their week of travel information. Very important to have and send to clients. That's part of that following up so that they know what's included, right? Their flights, that I'm going to check them in, their information about their transfers and what they have to do for the return transfers. I highlighted it in yellow, right? Now, this one doesn't have all of their excursions because there was too many to put in. They chose a lot. All right. And they did book them themselves, but it was from the information I sent them. So they get there on Saturday. They have their transfers. Sunday morning, they're going to a craft specialty coffee and chocolate tour at the North Fields. Here's their Viator booking number. And any email I get from Viator about these, because Viator will send them out, even though it says it was sent to the client, I still forward it to the client. Hey, I got this from Viator. Just wanted to make sure you saw it, right? Then Monday, they're going to the waterfall park and farm to table lunch. There's their confirmation number and their where it was booked through. And I've already sent them all of the stuff. This is just their itinerary. They have no plans on Thursday. Or Tuesday, they're gonna enjoy the resort that day. This was that group. They said, we're going to the hot springs. So they got that full day ticket, skip the line, get right in. They can see the volcano, all the things that they said were bucket list items, confirmation number. They also wanted to be able to see animals. They're going to the rescue center for animals the next day. They're doing this Mystico Park Hanging Bridges guided tour. Now I see that and I go, nope. Tasha is not a heights person. I don't need to do that. All right. They're doing a rainforest safari with a meal. I saw all this stuff she booked and I texted her immediately. I was like, I want to go on this trip with you. I cannot wait to hear all about it. Sunday, their last day there, they have a day at the resort. Monday, day at the resort. They check out. On the 10th, they fly home. There's their transfers, all their information, right? So see how much we were able to add into this trip, all by me giving her, here's some suggested activities. Now, some of the suggestions she took, some of them she clicked further to different places on Viator, and she got them. But they still got booked through me because it was my site she was on. So there's an example how we can really add things in, right? They wanted a jam-packed schedule. Not everybody wants a jam-packed schedule, right? Now, I have another family. They're going in June to July. Where are they? To the Dominican Republic. These are not booked excursions yet because they've booked the trip, but they know the options, right? So their whole trip. And then I put both of these have a reserve now plan option. Now they didn't choose to book this yet, but I told them about it and said, hey, if you book by November 16th and use this code, you can get a 10% discount. Right? But a link right to Viator. Now, if you notice on here, though, I put the total cost for 4 people. Now they can come in here, check it out themselves, look at the pictures. Now this is somebody I work with. She said, "We're doing this activity. We are going." They just didn't book it yet. All right. And I'll check in with her, if another promo comes up, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, there's another discount code. Why don't you guys book it now so that you don't have to pay yet. You just have to pay the week it's due, or it is." And they've looked at this and she said, "We are definitely doing this." All right. And they could put in their exact hotel. And it'll pop up where they're staying so they can get picked up at that hotel. All right. And all of those things. And then the other one I gave them because she said that her husband and their youngest son really love to fish. So potentially the two of them are going to go do a fishing tour for the day while her and her other son stay at the resort. Because she said, we're more, hang out at the pool kind of people. Right. But those are ways I can add in the extras as well as the one I showed you from the client who went to England. Right. But all of these trips, I'll also include things like, let's see. But even if I pull this up, when I look at what it tells the client, it includes the resort, the flights, the transfers, the travel protection. All right. And 3 excursions. That's what it originally included. So I make sure they know that travel insurance and things are in there that we talked about as well. Okay. And then I have had clients that I've upgraded their rooms. So maybe we look at, when we're in Vax and we're looking at options for our clients. This one may or may not go because sometimes when it shows up like that, it doesn't always let me search. So let me reopen it. If it doesn't show all of this here, sometimes it does weird things for me. So when I'm looking for a trip for somebody, I make sure that I look at those options and I compare the price differences. Okay. So they're looking to go over our spring break for 7 nights. Sometimes I will do the upgrade without even doing a conversation about it. Like, hey, this is within your budget and I'm able to give you this better room. Sometimes I do that because it's not worth the conversation of would you rather pay $100 more and get this better room? Like, hey, I was able to get you this better room that's going to give you more space and more of what you're looking for, closer to different things, whatever the case may be. We can look flights too, though. So if I look at the flights, first of all, none of this has like the super, here's a risk doing this type of flight. So I'm not that worried about it. But we do have 2 options here, Blue and Blue Extra. So if I go, and I always go right to the website to compare the rate codes. All right. So if I look, I have to remember where I looked for it before. I know I have found it before, but I could also just search a flight and it'll tell me. But group travel, do. Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. JetBlue rate comparison. Our fares, there it is. I knew I'd been able to look for it just before. So it tells us what's included for each thing. So Blue Basic, they get a carry-on and a personal item. They don't get any checked bags, no changes allowed. Cancellations are $100 per person fee in North America, Central America, Caribbean, $200 per person for other routes. Big reason why most of us will never book basic economy for people. It's a tiny bit more usually for Blue or the next one up. And then there's not a cancellation fee. All right. They can choose their seats. There's a fee for same day switches, but not that big of a deal. They don't have things included, but for one more up, we're going to compare that price of Blue and Blue Plus. They get a checked bag. Now, when I go back here, it doesn't give me Blue Plus as an option. It gives me Blue and Blue Extra. Blue Extra doesn't include the bag. It just gives them same day switches or standby. That's the only thing it gives them more than the regular. So I always check these things to see. All right, let's see what it tells me for baggage fees, and I believe it's so Blue Plus fares include one checked bag. Now, on transatlantic flights, Blue and Blue Extra include a checked bag. So those are important things to know. I believe on JetBlue, it's $80 per bag. So if I have a family of 4 and they want to check their bags, maybe I want to be putting them on Southwest because you get 2 free checked bags per person. Look at the price difference. 65, 44. It's only like $50 more. And they're not going to have to fly overnight. They're going to get there the same day. This is a much better choice to give them free bags, right? Even here, same price if they don't want to leave as late. But I check those types of things because that's enhancing their experience, right? So now let's look at rooms. Probably going to make me do the second flight too. It might not. It might change it automatically. All right, so it did change it automatically. Now, another thing that you can do in VAC, sometimes they give us this upgrade bonus available. It depends on what you upgrade them to. Sometimes you get additional commission for upgrades in VACs, depending what it is. Now I'm just going to choose this first one so we can see the options of rooms. So if I click the little plus sign, it's going to bring all of them up. So we're starting with a deluxe double. Deluxe king is actually less. Sometimes they're more for a king bed. All right, so the ocean view room is less than $200 more for a 7-night stay. That's a pretty big upgrade, right? So get paid to upgrade by choosing this room category. Earn an additional 2% bonus commission on the entire hotel portion of your package. This one just says look for upgrade bonus, so it doesn't tell me what it is. Oh, it's saying if I upgrade from these, look for the upgrade bonus. So I'm getting additional, and we have the Black Friday promotion. Now there's a preferred club. Again, preferred club gives them some additional perks, and it's $20 more, right? So we can look at the different options. Like there's not a huge difference in price for most of these. All right, preferred club, swim out double. We're only going up from the base, so we're at 7,000, less than $500 total. Gives them a swim out room and the preferred club perks. Oh, did it not choose that room? So let's look here. Preferred club, swim out. And I don't know why sometimes in Vax there's two different prices for the same room. Obviously, choose the less expensive. But 50% off a romantic dinner, 1 day Bali bed rental, and more, additional 5% discount, complimentary upgrade to nonstop transfer with the purchase of shared transfer. So we're complimentary upgrading them, right? $200 in resorts. Enjoy luxury. So if I wanted to know what does the preferred club include, I'm going to copy the name of the hotel. I'm going to go right to their website. Accommodations, club level. And let's see what it tells me. That is the type of room I think we're looking at with the swim out right there. Their own little like personal entry to the pool. All right, so preferred club. Extra level of luxury on your family friendly getaway. Upgrade to preferred club to take advantage of your select status. Elevated concierge service, exclusive access to the preferred club lounge and designated areas throughout the resort. Upgraded suite in a premium location and enhanced room amenities. All right, so they have the preferred club lounge, a personalized check-in, daily continental breakfast there that they don't have to go like to the big giant buffet. Afternoon hot and cold hors d'oeuvres served, exquisite desserts and premium liquors, complimentary computer access. Now, preferred status and amenities, preferred club suite, premium locations, an upgraded minibar, luxurious bath amenities, pillow menu. If you don't know what that is, it means like they let you choose what type of pillows you'd like. Complimentary internet access in the suites, exclusive privileges, concierge service, preferred status and amenities, private lounge, complimentary access to hydrotherapy spa area once during the stay, preferred club only lunch and dinner. So there's a restaurant just for them, and they have their own preferred club pool area. So $500 over the course of 7 nights. So we're talking less than $100 a day for all of these amenities that we could upgrade our clients to, right? So preferred club, swim out. Now, the one we had 2 doubles. But look, they get this little pool area that's just for them. Then they could walk. These are their loungers by that other preferred club pool. So they don't have to go to the more crowded pool. So if I'm looking here and their budget, let's say their budget was, I don't know, I want to make up a price. But a preferred club swim out double brings the room and package up to, come on, Vax, you can do it. So before we add travel insurance, oh, it's asking me to add the flight. I might advertise this one for since it's our spring break. So it's bringing them up to 7238. Let's say that their budget was 8,000. Their shared transfer is complimentary upgrade to direct. So we've already included that upgrade. We've upgraded the room. They're going to have a better experience. I'm going to say this insurance is going to be under 500. So we're going to keep them under the $8,000. So if I scroll down, it's only $300. Sometimes on Vax, there are activities you can include as well. Let's see if they give us any for this package. So we are still almost $500 under their budget. Let me just look. It does not have any activities here, but that's fine. Just so you know, that private it's a complementary to direct. Now, it would be $160 more if they did the private deluxe, which would be just them, up to 5 passengers. So I've got plenty of room in the budget. I've upgraded their room. They get a complimentary upgrade, or would have had a complimentary upgrade. It's still shared transfer, but it would be direct to their hotel instead of to multiple hotels. Now, this one's going to bring them direct. I'm coming in just under their budget. I check my commission. It's decent. My guess is the flights are high, and that's why the commission is high, isn't as high as I'd like it. But I've given them those upgrades, and I'm helping foster that relationship with those clients. Right? So I did want to give you some examples and how I could apply that in some real life situations, right? Let me